As I got another rhyme, another rhythm for y'all to listen. I'm never quitting on my mission, I'ma roll with what I'm giving. Got some ambition, this new edition, filling positions. Looking at the void in myself and feeling what's missing. Better watch the way you going, better go in the right direction. In the moment you stressing, but you gon' be counting blessings. And I know that for certain, keep on working, open curtains. Haters swerving, cause they ain't ready for your final version. Whoa. I'm never gonna give up, fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Cause this is my road.
You're listening to the Tom Ficklin Show on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Harry, thank you so much for that intro. And again, that's the song you hear is from Zach Carolyn, and kind of Google him, Zach Carolyn, go on SoundCloud, and a good friend that I had met. And so I just love his work about how do we get up each morning, how do we get up each day, how do we kind of become a person that can fulfill our destiny. We're kind of blessed this morning to have on my left Tyquan Ford, and in the center Norman Clement and J.O. Richardson, really chatting about their passion, their purpose, and their gift, and really their investment of their time and their talent and their energies, but in a way that I think is really should be really interesting to folks. That regardless of where you are in your station in life, whether you're incarcerated, whether you're trying to avoid being incarcerated, whether you're going back to school, and in some ways we're all kind of incarcerated in the United States of America in terms of our rights and our liberties. But not to be too metaphorical, Tyquan Ford is the owner and proprietor of Whalley Seafood. Norman Clement and J.O. Richardson are here from the Connecticut Bill Fund, not just New Haven. And so we're going to talk about some events taking place in September in terms of the Bill Fund. Tyquan is going to share in terms of his personal story, but also in terms of how does an entrepreneur kind of decide that they're going to take the risk and compete with the overall environment, regardless of what the so-called obstacles might be, in spite of the so-called competition. And really, when we think about even McDonald's started as one store on the West Coast. The coffee shop. What's the name of the famous coffee shop that people go to? Internet. Starbucks started as one store in Seattle. So how does that happen that you have a vision and you go against competition? Starbucks had to go against obviously Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's against everybody. So, and then in terms of the Bill Fund, what happens if you get kind of apprehended or sequestered, or just the walk of life kind of leads sometimes in terms of a situation that's kind of difficult? Is the responsibility just on the person, or does society have some responsibility? And can we as citizens kind of help folks? And basically, can we help one another? So the show, in a way, the theme is how can we help one another, regardless of your station in life, and even what you think your 9-to-5 job might be, you can still help somebody. Norman, let's kind of jump in with you, because Norman's going to have to leave around 20 minutes or so. Him and J-Ro to go over to the courthouse. But on September 7th, I think we have an event taking place that people should know about.
Yeah, we have
a little more into the mic.
What is being billed as? What is being billed as is an end of summer jam.
Summer jam.
Yeah, our first annual.
Okay.
So we're planning on making this an annual event, but it will be held on September 7th from 12 to 5 at Gulf Street Park. We'll have bands there, hip-hop artists, spoken word artists, dancers, things for the kids to do.
And who's the we? Who's the we?
The we is the Connecticut Bail Fund.
All right, the Connecticut Bail Fund.
Yeah, the Connecticut Bail Fund. We are a nonprofit organization that raises money to sort of make some headway into what we consider mass incarceration, criminalization of folks, black, brown, and poor. Most of our clients are from lower class or lower strata folks. We work with a lot of homeless people, and our people get oppressed in a certain kind of way.
Yes.
In a way that other people in society, middle class,
sure,
and rich people, it doesn't happen to them.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right.
Um,
So JL, give me an example on what kind of remedy you're providing or help you're providing. Someone is arrested and still in jail, and then
Well, basically, when somebody's arrested, they're facing a lot of different things, and it's a confusing time.
mm-hmm.
And during that time frame, when people don't know what they're facing and what to expect and how to advocate for themselves, they fall victim to a lot of, things that normally if they had knowledge of, they wouldn't fall victim to.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we offer support, is more of a communal support for a person going into dealing with the criminal justice system, pending cases, things of that nature.
Right.
And we do that in a lot of different ways.
And it's not just this event. So Norman in jail. So you have an office and hours, and people can kind of call. And how can they contact you and find out more about your services?
Well, the Connecticut Bail Fund .org.
Mm-hmm. ConnecticutBailFund.org, and we'll put that up on the site as well.
And we also all have cards here.
Okay.
And we're at 347 Grand Avenue.
Okay.
Anybody
Accessible
can stop by
on
the
the bus
office
line?
at any time if we're in the office. We run a weekly meeting every
Okay.
Wednesday night at 6:00. People come in, community comes in. They talk about their cases. We don't give legal advice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make that clear. We do not give legal advice. What we do is, with the community support of everybody that's in the room that have gone through this life experience of being caught up in the criminal justice system, we strategize on how to push the case forward for the best results, the best outcome for our people.
And so your meetings are just not someone that particularly might be affected, but his or her mother,
members,
father, family members, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ministers,
Loved ones, anybody
Loved ones.
in the community, and
So that's what you says once a week.
it's once a week.
Once a week, and
every
when
Wednesday.
every Wednesday.
Yep.
And what's the address?
347 Grand Ave.
And so in Grand Avenue, that's before you get to Ferraro's or near Ferraro's, or
It's past Ferraro's.
it's past Ferraro's.
Yeah, it's
and
up
before you
just
go,
past James Street.
Past James.
Right on the corner of Lloyd and James.
So-
Lloyd and Grand.
okay, and it just gets so important. I mean, we hear about various meetings to attend, but this is a meeting where you can get information, even if you don't, if you represent a club or a business, just to know of these community services that are available. I think is so important. JL, how long have you been involved with them?
I've been involved with them approximately a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
and the work we've been doing has been real mind blowing. I mean, I've seen people pending cases. We strategize on how to humanize them in front of the judge.
Mm-hmm.
They go in front of the judge, and now the judge is seeing a different aspect of a person.
Okay.
A lot of times, a person will be judged on their background and the case they have pending. They won't be judged on the other aspects of their lives, the other things, the people they care for, the people that rely on them,
Mm-hmm.
the contributions they're making to the community. And what we do is we bring all of those aspects out with something called a social bio, where we have their support system, loved ones, whoever is involved with this person, to create a full document so we could present this to the courts.
Good.
So we
good.
humanize people in
Good.
front of the courts.
Good. Again, you're listening to the Tom Ficklin Show, and Taekwon Ford is here with us, and Norman Clement and J.L. Richardson. And Taekwon, I want to bring you in for a second. We're going to talk about you, not talk about you, but we're going to talk with you also after Norman has to leave. But Taekwon is the owner of Whalley Seafood, and before that, you had an establishment. Where was it again?
I was on, it was right across the street from Ferraro's.
Okay.
Called Elm City Seafood.
And so
On
total
Hamilton Street.
total of 5 years.
No, I had Elm City Seafood for a total of 2.5 years.
For 2.5,
Yeah.
and now on Whalley Avenue. And again, one might ask, what does the Bail Fund and Whalley Seafood have to do together? In my mind, it's folks just pursuing how we can kind of invest in one another, support one another. So we want to come out to the event on September 7th at Gulf Street Park. We want to purchase your goodies at Whalley Seafood. I'm going to give you a chance to talk more about this, but in brief, what convinced you that you could compete with? And I know, this is a small town with Diamato's, with Jimmy's, with Kevin's, with with other places. I mean, almost every Sunday or Saturday, you'll see a church has a fish fry, right?
Definitely.
So I mean, it's so. Well, where was that vision? Because I know Pastor Todd Foster really loves your menu. I really love your menu, but that's kind of a bias. I got to be a full disclaimer here. I've tested everything, and yours is the best. But where was that passion and that instinct and that motivation to get involved with establishing your own business and going against the competition?
Well, actually, I didn't really see any competition. It was a means of out for me, and my uncle actually, rest in peace, John Henry, he used to cook seafood like on a street corner. He was a street vendor, so me and my uncle, we came together and partnered up and made a business, and that was it. We didn't really see the competition.
Well, elaborate on that you didn't see the competition. You knew of these other places.
Yes.
Okay, but paraphrase it, because I love that what you've just said in terms of the liberation mindset, that so-called that perception is reality. So you knew these other places were around, but you didn't see them to be competitors.
Well, truthfully, I didn't, because the way they cooked their fish was totally different than the way my grandmother cooked her
All
fish.
right. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
So I came in knowing that the way I seasoned my fish and prepared it would be completely different from what was being offered.
So unique and different. And you hear about, in terms of business plans, what's your unique proposition or your value proposition. And you're saying that the general public will see fish to be one vanilla flavor, but you had some other flavors that you were going to kind of throw on people.
Yeah, especially since, like, I mean, I don't want to say it, but from my community, well, like the Black community, where my grandmother or people from the southern states or whatever, I know they prepare their fish differently, like batter wise, like some like up northeastern, they batter their fish in like flour. That's really like a base. Like more southern style is more like cornmeal based. So that was the difference.
So where you're located, and we want people to kind of come in and do a taste test also.
Okay, we're located at 117 Whalley Avenue, New Haven, Connecticut.
And that's near St. Luke's Church.
It's directly next door to St. Luke's Church, in the same parking lot as Papa John's.
Okay, great. And Norman and Jo, are you guys? So I think we were talking offline before we started. Are you open on? You're not open on Mondays.
Actually, Whalley Seafood right now is in a transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Venturing out and trying to get into different sectors, different industries.
Okay. And we were talking about that before. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Norman and Jo, do you have a response? I'm just struck when Taekwon talks about not seeing obstacles. Do you have any response? That just really resonates with me.
Yeah, it resonates with me too, because a lot of times, and I want to support this brother 100%. I think what he's doing is phenomenal. We need more examples of him. Young Black and brown people from the community opening their own businesses and really being passionate about it. I just want to commend you for that, brother. That's real inspiring. But I feel like the correlation between both is, a lot of times, even in the criminal justice system, a lot of people may feel hopeless and may feel like, hey, my back is against the wall. What do I do? And to have that, and I feel like that's what one of the things CT Bell Fund does is we give people that support. We give them that support. We give them so they're just not looking hopeless anymore. They have a passion. They have passion to advocate for themselves. They have passion to really get the outcome they want for their cases. And I feel like that's one of the passions that Taekwon has. He had a passion and I feel like that passion was embedded in him through his family members, through his community, because that's what he talks about. His family, they created fish a certain type of way. So that gave him the confidence to say, hey, I can step out there and I can open a restaurant and my fish is going to be different and people are going to resonate with my fish because it speaks to a certain audience. And I feel like that's kind of what we have with us. You know, we are giving people that support. So now when they go into the criminal justice system, they're saying, hey, you know, I have this support. I really want to advocate for myself. I really want the outcomes that I want for my case. Because a lot of times when we work with cases, we work with people, they're just lacking few resources. That's why they're in the criminal justice system. If they had this type of support, they wouldn't even be in the criminal justice system. And I feel like it's kind of our responsibility and our obligation to support people when they're facing these things and facing these obstacles so they don't get in these situations, you know. And that's what I've seen happen case after case after case. It's astonishing. And again, I just want to commend you, brother. Definitely appreciate what you're doing out here. You're real inspirational.
Thanks. It's definitely a grind and a process. That's what it all is. You gotta wait and just enjoy the process.
Well, we're going to come back to that. We're going to come back. But Norman chip in, because when J.O. was talking about the really the story of the person, the humanity of the person, so that the judge would see that this is a whole individual, and circumstance is one thing, but your individual kind of commitment and your family support is another. You're well known here, maybe too well known in here, but you're well known. I say that jokingly because we need more Normans. That terms of, we hear these terms, civil disobedience and social justice and rights, etc. But when the rubber hits the road, not everybody wants to be visible and really to make the sacrifice. You've made the sacrifice for the last I don't want to get personal, but at least a decade.
Much more than that.
A decade and more.
Yeah.
And that takes a toll. I mean, I know you're 17 and I'm 18 kind of thing, so we have a few more years to go. But your commitment, what keeps you going in terms of your commitment to the various causes for social justice, for bail fund, for the Yale situation, just you name it, you've been involved, climate change, etc.
Yeah. Well, I've had inspiration from, some of my leaders, some of the people I look up to. One of them being Leonard Peltier, who's been incarcerated for 44 years now. When I got back into doing social justice work here in New Haven, because I did it when I was younger, but got away from it. I wrote Leonard a letter, and I explained to him why I got away from it. I had a lot of personal problems in my life, and then raising a family, and then more personal problems and so forth and so on. And Leonard wrote me back, and I thought he was going to be sympathetic with, me not being in the movement, and he was like, there are no excuses. We're born in the struggle. We have to stay in the struggle. There is no other life but in the struggle until we all become free. So that was inspirational to me, and that's why I have this tattoo right here.
Talk to us about the tattoo.
That's an honor. This is Leonard always signs his every letter in the spirit of Crazy Horse. When he wrote me that letter, I had that signature, and it says "in the spirit of Leonard Peltier," because he's the next leader from the American Indian movement that we need to look up to. So,
indeed, and Norman, as you chatted, I was thinking about this coming in, that given our young age, we have a historical reference that really is not that fresh for everyone. So when you say Leonard Peltier, some people may know that name, others have never heard it in their life. If we say Mumia Abu-Jamal, some people may hear that name, others have never heard it in life. So I'm urging folks, if you're just hearing those words, those two names, Leonard Peltier and Mumia Abu-Jamal, for the first time, that's fine. Google them. Just find out who are these people, these two names that we've just kind of tried to drop on you.
Yeah, and I don't mean to go into all that, because I'd rather be talking about the bail fund right now.
But the bail fund, the bail fund is connected absolutely to these people in my mind, and to the ongoing struggle as we talk about 1619, as we talk about your middle name came from where again? Who gave you your middle name?
Quinnipiac people.
And so, what does that mean, Quinnipiac? We have the Quinnipiac Club, we have Quinnipiac University, but do people realize that
Quinnipiac people?
Yeah,
there are still Quinnipiacs alive, and people want to erase them.
Yes,
and have tried to erase them. As all indigenous people have been tried to be erased, but they're still here.
That's right.
And you just have to look them up.
That's right.
Search them out.
You're listening to the Tom Ficklin Show, and Taekwon Ford is here with us, and Norman Clement and J.O. Richardson, and Taekwon has referenced the fact that already he's going to become a business mogul, and although he has the expertise in terms of restaurant management and food service, I mean, even if you close today, Taekwon, you have purchased food, you've paid leasing, fish prices are ridiculous in terms of up and down, how erratic fish prices are, food inspection. And now you want to kind of expand your portfolio from a business. So it really doesn't matter in my mind what your service or product is, but it matters as long as it's quality and it's something that the consumer wants. And then just to manage a business, manage, having those management skills, as you were referencing earlier, and the optimism. What keeps you? Your son is here. We may not be able to get him on the air, but today is his 8th birthday. And what's his first name again?
Josiah.
Josiah. So the show is really, the theme of the show is for Josiah. But what keeps you busy and optimistic and moving forward?
Truthfully, my 2 sons keep me moving forward.
Well, I
creating
know
a
you're
legacy.
not gonna lie to me, so give me the truthfully.
Creating a legacy and trying to be there and setting a staple for people
So
that's
Josiah's
watching me.
8.
And my other son, Taekwon Jr. Tai, he's 16.
16. Okay. And so say some more about that, because it's really so key. And JL, you had mentioned also about the impact of family and legacy and generation.
I just want to create a space where I can transfer wealth to my kids, so they won't have to go to the same things that I have been through, or even think of or fathom certain things I had to think of, because I just want to change and become different just a little.
And we're talking about this little guy here.
Yeah,
This little guy here.
he just jumped in.
Huh? How about this little guy here? Is that who we're talking about? Huh? 8 years old. 8 years old. You sure? I'm talking about him. But I mean, you were motivated before they were born. Not to give you a hard time, but talk to me about what was keeping you focused even before they were born.
I mean, I always had a drive and an ambition, just because I just wanted more. I was never content with what was going on or my present circumstance. I just always had a burning desire to want more and more and more, and so that's what I'm trying to just become better each day, every day.
And how did Pastor Todd Foster become such a cheerleader? He's chairperson of your talent committee and your fan club. I'm vice chair of your fan club. So, but how did Pastor Todd become chairperson of your fan club?
Pastor Todd is actually a great guy. He's like really influential in my life. I mean, I was like at a dark time one time at a point in my life, and had some talkings with him, and he changed my whole aspect on certain things, because I mean, certain people come to Christ or God and have their own disposition or just belief system about that. I mean, and he opened it up to where as he's saying that as long as you believe in your own belief and you gradually try to become better each day, you're going to create like a snowball effect where it's going to continue, and then you're going to just become better. And so that's where I'm at now. Just trying to become better each day. I mean, certain people see certain things as being bad or not right, and other people might see those same things as being good. Or so it's all in the aspect in your perception of how you see things. It's just, if you're facilitating a space where you're taking care of your family and being the best person that you can be and doing everything that you need to be done for your family and the people around you, then just continue on doing that. And I mean, certain people might have their beliefs or say certain things about you, but at the end of the day, you're doing what you have to do for your family.
Excellent. And Norman and J-Ro kind of tag team on that, because again, we want people to come out on give me their dates again, and we want them also to consider making some financial contributions. Is that for the bail fund?
It's a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser.
So that we can continue the work that we do in the community.
So September 7th.
September 7th, Gulf Street Park, 12 to 5.
Do you have some of the names of the people that are performing?
Yeah, we have some.
Let's shout it out. You haven't asked me to sing yet, but that's okay. Maybe the second annual.
You show up.
I'll show up. All right.
Put you on the mic.
All right, mic, open mic.
We got Voices of Change, a local band here in New Haven. Just getting started.
Good.
But then they have a special guest who's going to do some reggae music.
Good.
Voices of Change does Afro-Caribbean style.
Good.
Monteith Kane, he's the local hip hop artist. So we have, and how this came about in my mind is there's some people in Hartford that did a fundraiser for the Connecticut Bail Fund.
Yes.
And they had a bunch of people there performing. So I decided to invite them down here.
Sure.
So there's a lot of Hartford folk that's going to be here.
Right.
Mark Burns and this young sister here, Ann Go.
Okay.
She's the one that inspired me. She's a painter. She does live painting. As events are going on, she's painting. It pertains to the event, right? So she's the one that her and this young woman Q inspired me, because when I walked into that event, they were like, they knew me. They'd seen me, like everybody, like you said, people see me on the street.
With the microphone.
Yeah.
With the megaphone. Where's the megaphone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, yo, this I want you to be my grandpa.
Yeah,
You know, you're
yeah.
such a cool man.
Yeah.
I want you to be my grandpa. So they sort of adopted me as their grandpa. So
All
yeah.
right. And if you're just tuning in, the Connecticut Bail Fund representatives are here. Taekwon Ford from, I'm going to say Taekwon Ford Enterprises, certainly Whalley Seafood, but also I'm going to,
Living and betterment.
I'm a baptize it right now. The Taekwon Ford Enterprises.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I also, when Taekwon was talking, it seems to me that you have a guest speaker for your next Wednesday session.
If Taekwondo was show
Oh,
up.
definitely.
It seems to me you got some.
We need to, yeah. I mean,
So-
maybe after this, after
Yeah, after
Yeah, we
we
can talk. Yeah,
our
definitely.
we could talk about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So
It'd be inspirational for some of our people,
That's
our
right.
community members, to see
Yeah.
it's the sex.
So if folks want to
stories,
know more about the Connecticut Bail Fund each week, they can come where?
347 Grand Avenue.
Just 1 second.
347 Grand Avenue,
Mhm.
and Wednesdays at 6 o'clock. Anybody that have pending cases or have family member and loved ones of pending cases, we hold a Wednesday night meeting, a participatory defense meeting, where you can come. You can gain support, gain unity, and gain some ideas on how to approach dealing with your case, and basically ways that you can humanize yourself in front of the courts.
Indeed.
And that's every Wednesday at 6 o'clock
Indeed.
at 347 Grand Avenue.
And is there a telephone number people can call just for further information?
Yeah, we all have our own our own personal numbers, but
Okay.
I'll give you my cell phone number. It's 203-290-1603. Again, that's 203-290-1603. That's my personal cell phone number.
And I like the fact that that's just not an office number. That's your personal number. So for people to kind of create that personal contact and relationship
Right.
Definitely.
with
Right.
you
We all
is
have
is and Norman, do you want to share yours as well?
Okay,
I mean, we know the FBI already has it, but let's just be sure that
Definitely.
mine is 203
Mhm.
275 9733.
I joke that a little bit about the
Can I
about sure.
just mention one
Yeah,
other thing?
absolutely.
Because the bail
This is
fund,
your show. I'm just sitting
as
in.
the bail fund, we do a lot of different. We run a lot of different programs.
Yeah, sure.
Right, so we also have an immigration bail fund.
Okay.
Right. So we bond people out of immigration jail,
Mm-hmm.
which is like something that's really needed right now in this country.
Yes, that's right.
We know we see, people attempted to be deported from everywhere around the globe, from Africa, from Caribbean.
Yes.
It's not just the South Americans that are being affected by this. So that's a large part of what we do now. We created the Immigration Bail Fund. There's
Tremendous.
A bunch of other programs that we also run. There's a thing called UREP right now, a program called UREP.
UREP.
Where we try and find lawyers for people that are
Great.
caught up in the immigration system.
Great.
We have a group of lawyers that work with us. And one thing that I like to tell people all the time, because I've been saying this since I started,
Mm-hmm.
is that my job is to eliminate my job.
Mm.
All right?
Mm.
Because eventually what we want to do is get rid of cash bail altogether.
Okay.
All right? We don't want to have to bond people out of jail anymore.
Mm.
Okay? So we'll be
it's
working on that.
the abolitionist strategy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we're in the process right now of putting together a coalition of different organizations and groups to really come and create legislation that's going to put an end to cash money pre-sentence bail.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we know that's the cycle, that's the trap. Rich people are able to afford to pay their bill and get out. And it's easier to fight your case when you're out on bond. Poor people can't pay their bond and they're stuck incarcerated, and it's easier for them to take a plea deal that might not be favorable to them and things of that nature. So we see that unfair cycle that's affecting poor people. So that's one of the main reasons why we want to eliminate pre-sentence cash money bail,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not a fair system, especially for people that's under-resourced, underemployed, undereducated, things of that nature.
And so there's
Great
always.
cause.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Taekwon.
No, I was just saying that I'm applauding their cause. It's a great cause.
Well,
Right.
share a little bit because you've had some scrapes with the law, but you've straightened yourself out. What would you say to somebody right now, literally, that might be listening, that might be thinking about undertaking some action that's not going to be for his or her benefit? What can we say or do, just even in terms of this show, right this very moment, that you might address somebody that might be listening, or someone's parent or father or mother or sister or relative, to deter someone that might be considering an act of poor decision making?
Well, truthfully, I mean, it's a subculture, and like they push it forward as far as like music, all that type of other things. So they create a facade in front of people when people chase that reality. But at the end result, I mean, it's either death or jail. I mean, some people are fortunate enough to get out of their situation, but like I said, it's just like a facade. I mean, by the end of the day, like so many industry make so much money off of that facade that
Yes.
it will never go anywhere. Like the reality they create for people that's all they see, like through movies, through music, just through literature, through everything. So they put it in front of you, and then once you get trapped inside of it, then it's hard to come up out of it because like you don't have any life skills. Truthfully, after that, I mean, you do obtain certain life skills, but you just gotta apply them in different directions, different ways, different ways of making money. It's all different which ways you can make money.
But so not to put words in your mouth, but you're saying that if a mother or son or father or whatever is feels that that their son or daughter might not be making good decisions, should they come out on September 7th, meet people like Norman, like Jo? Is it can the communal friendship of another person help to offset the media propaganda?
Most definitely, because I mean, just to piggyback off of them, mass incarceration has really caused a void in a lot of like younger people's lives. So a lot of experience that the older people that had that would have passed it down to try to like curb certain things that's going on right now weren't able to happen because of a mass incarceration. So people like Norman and Ja Rule, their cause is great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So people should come out on September 7th.
Definitely should come out on September 7th and support these two guys. Their cause is a great cause.
And there are other causes as well. We know about the Sanctuary City and so much activity taking place in New Haven. Even on that Saturday, September 7th, the Hill, I think Jay, you mentioned the Hill reunion is taking place.
Yeah, the Hill reunion is happening at Roberto Clemente Park, September 7th. There's a lot of events happening September 7th. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be at the CT Bail Fund, but I'm definitely gonna be at the Hill reunion earlier. Because that's my community, and I feel like I have an obligation.
That's right.
I feel like when you're in a certain position and you've been through certain things, you have an obligation to especially go back to the communities you're from and show people that, hey, listen, just because you had these type of experiences, this doesn't lock you in to having that live a certain type of standard of life.
Good.
And I feel like that's what the CT Bail Fund does. Just because a person has a criminal record or just because they're involved with the court system, it doesn't lock them into a certain type of standard of life. And a lot of times the court system consciously or subconsciously may put this on people for them to start to believe this. And that's kind of the stigma that we're taking away with working with the CT Bail Fund.
And even on that Saturday, September 7th at the Lincoln Bassett School, there's a youth event. And I mentioned these events for the youth event on September 7th at Lincoln Bassett, the Bail Fund at Gulf Street Park, the Hill reunion, and also there's going to be a safe part of Dixwell. They're going to paint a street to kind of help with the traffic flow. There's a lot going on in this small little town for you. Whatever your menu, whatever your choice and flavor of social justice might be, there's a lot to get involved with. So get involved with something.
Definitely. Even if to myself, even if those things are not you to publicly get involved with something, like I feel like what this brother is doing by opening a business, thinking beyond the box, striving to open other businesses. That's inspirational, especially when you've been on the other side of the law and you've seen certain things. It's inspirational to show the community, show the youth, show your kids that, listen, that doesn't make who I am.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not letting that dictate my future and who I am. I could do different things with my life. And that's why it's almost our obligation to do different things with our lives. And I just like the fact that we're doing different things, real versatile. This brother's opened a fish market. He's going into different other entities to broaden, like you say, he's creating an enterprise of different events. And I feel like I'm in the social justice field, Norm's in the social justice field. and we're just doing different things to just show that, listen, we're not letting our past dictate our future.
That's right. And Taekwon, you said we have a question here from a young man.
Oh, DJ Cluck. My son's a DJ.
DJ Click, you'd like to say something to everybody?
Well,
Speak
I
to the
don't
mic.
know.
It's your birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
What do you want to become when you older, Si? What do you want to do?
I want to become well, I don't know who I want to become, but I don't know yet. I'll think about that when I'm older.
All right. Where are you in school? Where are you in school now?
Huh?
Where do you go to school?
At Elm City College Prep.
And again, just the name Elm City College Prep. That's so key for us to kind of just realize that at your 8th grade, you're 8 years old. What does a college prep mean? And college might not be for everyone when he gets to be college age, but whatever you're going to learn to whatever college is going to offer by the time he gets college age, that's the key thing. And even to get into Elm City Prep is not an easy task. It's not an easy task at all. So we want to.
No, he's reading at a 5th grade level now.
So you're reading on the 5th grade level.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I read in the 5th grade level,
Mm-hmm.
and I solve my own algorithm.
Algorithm?
Wow.
Yeah, algorithm.
Yeah.
See, and that's the key, and we can learn from our little people, and also we can just learn. And you mentioned, just repeat, Taekwon is just so important. Why we're here in terms of the legacy, and you mentioned your 2 children, and all of us. Whether Norman, I'm not going to get into your business in terms of how many, daughters or sons you might have. I'm not going to get into your business, but they're young people that look up to us regardless. That we consider to be our sons and daughters and grandchildren. So you mentioned the legacy thing is really inspirational to you.
Definitely. And I'm trying to disperse the wealth gap. Like, I want my kids, when they do get of age, 18, 20, to already be able to, like, have credit cards and money in their bank accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to facilitate their future the best. Like you said, like, college isn't for everyone. And I don't want my kids to believe that they have to go to college to become someone. Like, the future is yours. You got to be a creator of your own space and make your best foot forward.
But the
Some people just don't do college and do practice.
Indeed, and practicing is kind of the key, regardless of our young age or our old age. Just you hear the phrase "sharpen your iron." Just the discipline. We know about Michael Jordan taking all the shots. He talks about all the ones he's missed, the ones that he's made, and Larry Bird talks about how practice. So even the ones that have the innate skill and magic as well, just the practice is just so important. The practice and the discipline.
Definitely. Discipline, the process, being disciplined within the process.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most part, because I mean, you might have a plan and you might not see it yourself as far as like how far like ways you made upon that plan, because you're involved with it and you're so entrenched in the process that you don't see it. But like other people are like, oh, he's doing such a great job, he's doing so great. So I mean, you just gotta just stick with it, and I mean, stick to itness. That's like one of my favorite words. Just stay with it.
As we kind of close out, gentlemen, share with folks about your passion and your gift, and really and I've asked this question a little bit innuendo wise, but your passion, your gift, and what kind of keeps you optimistic and not being depressed. I mean, I think all of us can testify that we know people, even when we leave here, that might feel less than fully stimulated, and even you might not feel, Norman, right now fully stimulated. We all might have to be dealing with issues and devilment, and if you follow me. But what kind of share with the audience what kind of keeps you optimistic, causes you when you get up in the morning and say, you know what, I can still do this. And whatever this might be. J-Ro, let's kind of start with you.
Well, for me, the thing that keeps me going is I always think about the places I was in the past. I think about being in the jail cell.
Mm-hmm.
I think about being, poor, broke, fill in the blanks,
Mm-hmm.
just in the worst situation than I'm in right now. And I feel that throughout everything I've experienced in life, and I've made it to the point where I've made it now,
Mm-hmm.
I know that I'm going to make it, and I'm going to do bigger things with my life. And I feel that I have an obligation now to inspire people that are in those positions that I were in the past. And that's what keeps me going every day. Even when I'm feeling down, I'm like, I have to get up. I have to do something because it's people that's dependent on me to inspire them. It's people that they tell me every day, thank you for doing what you're doing. And I see some of those people changing their lives because of examples like me and examples like Norm, examples like this brother right here, and other examples throughout the city. It's I'm not the only person. We're not the only person. There's other people across the city that's being real instrumental in the things that they're doing with their lives. I mean, the Sport Academy.
Yes.
Yes. There's so many different Ice the Beef. There's so many different entities across New Haven that's doing different things, and I'm just commending all of them because we're inspiring the community to step forward on building it together. I mean, these are all entities that I see doing positive things in the community that's inspiring people to go beyond those spots where they're at. So that's what keeps me going every morning.
Perfect. Norman?
Yeah, I think it's, for me, it's the success I see that our people have. You know, we have small victories, but they're large in my mind, in my heart, when I watch someone change,
yes,
change their life and go on and do great things. You know?
Okay.
I just want to. I wanted to mention that,
sure.
The bail fund, since it started 3 years ago, has funded 292 people out. All right, how we keep track of some of the success we have within the justice system is we keep track of what's called time saved. All right. So from the time they offer you whatever they're going to give you to the time your case is finished, right? The difference in that, say they offer you 5 years, and at the end of it, because of our work and because of their work, specifically because of their work, because they're doing the work, that number, whatever, if they end up with, a suspended sentence, so they saved 5 years. That was 5 years saved. The bail fund has saved over 630 years of jail time for people just since we started. So, those are things that I look at that and I'm like,
that's a tremendous, it's a tremendous measurement.
Saving a lot of people's lives.
And even on the crest, it's saving the taxpayers' money. It's saving people's lives. I mean, wherever you want to look at it, from a materialistic standpoint or a spiritual standpoint.
And one thing that I do, and we also do, is we don't just get people out and then have them talk about their cases. We find them services that they need.
Excellent.
All right. If they need drug addiction services, we look for that for them. If they need housing or jobs, we try and find that for them. It's very difficult because the system is overloaded, but we have had a bunch of successes since I've been there, and I think we're going to have a lot.
Tremendous. So please come out on September 7th. You have the number in terms of how to reach Norman and J. Bro. Just so important. Taekwon, in terms of you've alluded to this a little bit, but I'm gonna give you another chance to take the bite at the apple of the inspiration and the motivation and what gets you up each morning. You didn't mention your wife or your better half, so I'm assuming that's also a part.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a part as well.
All right, I don't want you to leave here without having the chance to get that in.
But I want to first start off by shouting out the Black small business that are in the area. As far as like Tia Murray, she has no nonsense training, which she's my trainer. Sandra's Miguel, who's like a mentor of mine. Chance, a person I look up to. He has a barbershop and a couple other businesses. We have Mo's, another southern style place. We have Sullivan's Academy. He's also like a basketball coach for West Haven. We have
my son was in
Elm City Elite, which is another basketball program. We have
Elephant in the Room.
We have
What's Next Barbershop.
Lane's Barbershop. On Congress Avenue. We also have, what else? Is Reeves. We have Channel One, which do signs. It's so many.
Ficklin Media.
Yeah. Tom Ficklin Media. Exactly. Tom Ficklin Media. We gotta definitely shout out Tom.
J.O.'s Saturday morning breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
J.O. serves breakfast for people on Saturday morning.
I just say that to say this. There's so much exploitation going on in neighborhoods that people don't even realize it, and people like on a broader level, say, oh, we can't support this place or we can't support this place because of person's beliefs. But what about on the lower levels? Like, you don't never go to local businesses that are around and think about their political association. So gotta take that into account as well. And I say that to say this. I mean, I'm in here for the fight for the long run. Like, I'm not going anywhere. And I mean, I'm so optimistic about my future. Like, I always look at the glass half full instead of half empty. I mean, my heights and my dreams are so big that I mean, I can't even fathom them right now because that's how big they are. And I'm just shooting for the sky. Like, I mean, it's an all going journey for me. It just never stops. It's continuous.
Good. Just last words, gentlemen, as we kind of wind down.
Come on up for Saturday,
September
September 7th.
And
Goff Street Park.
See you there.
And every Wednesday at 347 Grand Avenue, 6 o'clock, we have a participatory meeting. Anybody that have pending cases or have a loved one that have pending cases, please come to these meetings and find support within these rooms and strategize on how you can humanize yourself in front of the judge.
And I want anybody saying, endlessly the new beginning, spread your wings, don't be caught in that particular space you're in. Always look for a brighter future and just make it happen, because it can't happen.
Definitely.
Can't top that, gentlemen. Thank you. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Harry, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And we'll talk to you next week.
Better watch the way you going, better go in the right direction. In the moment you stressing, but you gon' be counting blessings. And I know that for certain. Keep on working, open curtains, haters swerving, cause they ain't ready for your final version. Whoa. I'm never gonna give up, fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Cause this is my road, lights, camera, action, I'm ready to go. I'm never gonna give up, fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Yeah, this is my road. Lights, camera, action, I'm ready to go. Way too long, we faced them storms. Now you gon' face the dawn you waited for. I said from night to dawn, I right my wrongs alone. In competition with warnings, ice galore. Now I'm running toward them highlights, I'm finished being a quitter. But little by little, they joking, telling some riddles. Now I'm in my section, ain't willing to give up. Know you getting knocked down, but you gotta get up. I'm never gonna give up, fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Cause this is my road, lights, camera, action, I'm ready to go. I'm never gonna give up, fall down, I just gotta get up, yeah. Yeah, this is my road, lights, camera, action, I'm ready to go.